What's going on, y'all? Chris here with my church band, and as promised, this is part two of the video that I did last week on how I'm making a track here from start to end. And when I say making it, I'm not inventing it, but this is the track. He's Not Just a Man. I did this years ago, and I believe like around 2013 or something like that. But I even had to update Logic with some of the things. But I'm just going to show you my mindset when I'm over here trying to create a track for various reasons. You may want to practice. You may want to see how your virtual instruments sound. You may want to create a track, a click track. There could be any reason, any number of reasons why you'd want to do this. And like I mentioned in the last video, I got about 29 tracks here, and 28 of them are being used to recreate the track here, and this one here is just the actual reference track here. So I have them all lined up on this grid in this audio region here. I'll have it lined up exactly in this grid so I can have them go toe for toe, so I can listen to it in real time as I'm actually doing the recording to make sure my chords and the sound that it sounds, it matches. It sounds right. And so we hear these things. So I'm gonna take the solo off and then mute it, and then we can listen to what I have so far here. Oh, yeah, I did forget to mention one more thing. There's actually a guitar lick for what I remember hearing. So unless I just made it up, I don't know. Okay. So you have this here, right? And I try to match it because there's several things that I'm doing here. I have this, for some reason I felt like it would be nice to have a guitar lick there. I don't know why I did that. Maybe I did hear it on the track, I don't know. But I have that there. I like how it sounds. And so I have that in this region here, this acoustic guitar. And I'm using one from this plugin called, is it Urban? Yeah, Rig Urban Workstation. It's a Kontakt. You can be used in Kontakt, that sampler. So that's what I did for that. And then these pads here, I used a plugin, a VSTI called Omnisphere. This thing is ridiculous. I love it. Omnisphere is pretty dope. This is basic dark wheel pad. You can actually control the way it sounds. And I have it selected so you can actually control the way it sounds based on the mod wheel. So it'll tell you, the wheel itself. It'll just kind of give you a clue into what it can do. And in this area here, it tells you the mod wheel brings in the OB Sublime pad and whatever. And there's a bunch of different parameters. I'm not going to get into that, but I just want to show you the voice I'm using for that. That's what I heard. And then there's another pad I have on it. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can, this is not the most efficient way as far as putting everything on a separate track, but it's the most effective way if you want to pan and use different plugins and do different things. So I don't always go so much for efficiency as I do like to separate my sounds. So this is pad number 2 here. I'm going to double click on that. It takes a second. Oh, did that before. And this is Platinum Sky. It's one of my favorite ones here. So, and then it's like a shimmery kind of pad, right? And of course, the same thing with the mod wheel. It tells you, and that's what I'm hearing. It has that metallic-y kind of chimey sound. And then there's this pad here. It's pad number 3. And this is a rolling metal balls. I don't know what. Yeah. Because that's what I'm hearing in the track. So I have so far 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the orchestral chimes. And if you notice here, I'll do 2 things here. I'll name my track, and then I'll also put icons so I can quickly see. I like to group them. Those are the 3 things I like to do. Because from 29 tracks, 28 tracks, you don't want to just be, recording and just it's saying untitled. It's not going to help you. Or having no description. So you want to have a name for them. So when it records in these regions, the regions will be named after the actual track instead of it just being untitled. Right? And you'll have that because it'll say untitled if you don't give it a title. And also the picture will help you to have a visual categorization really quickly to look at the tracks. I like to keep all my guitars here, my keyboards here, and pads together. Percussion, I like to keep together all this percussion. And, of course, this should probably be slid up here because it's a sine, another type of keyboard. And these are all the percussion or sound effects are going to go in this area here, so I can quickly find them. I don't have to like try to read every little thing. And the strings over here in the middle, these two things here. So these two tracks here, 8 and 9. So of course I have here an orchestral. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Right. So you're hearing that bell, right? No, I don't know exactly where it is. I can find it. Oh wait, I don't have the track selected. That's probably why I can't hear it. Right. There's one of these. Normally I would put like how I have A#3. I'll put the, because there's several of them. You know, it can be any bell instead of having to try to match the tone of what I did the last time. If for some reason I may have to change something in the sampler, I know exactly which note number it is because there are several chimes, several orchestral chimes, and I'm particular about the one that I'm going to use. So there's that, and then there's also this wind chime. You know, you're going to hear. So this works really well with this platinum pad here. I think this was the one. It might have been this one, right? Might have been this one. Yeah, because normally instead of saying pad 1 here, this is platinum sky. Pad 1 and pad 2 and whatnot. You know, you could give it a name, but I was being lazy. So it could be, because it helps to be specific, because you'll develop all these tracks. Because when you're listening to these things, you realize that you may have a couple of basic instruments, maybe a piano, drum and bass, and everybody's going to have that. But you will have other things that are going to be added to it as well, other elements that you'll want to add. Some things you may want to repeat. Like I have 2 pianos here that are the same. For some reason I did that. Like I said, I did this years ago. So I'll have to explain to you as I listen to it and go along. So these are the 2 pads here. And then together I got to play it from the beginning. So the MIDI event can be triggered right here. Right, so forgot that one here. So that's the feel that I'm hearing, right? And I try to match it up. Remember, it's not going to be, oh my goodness, this is exactly it. But you want to get it as close as possible. You're never going to get it exactly right unless you know exactly what type of instruments they use, what settings they had, and you know a bunch of other variables that we're going to. But you're trusting your ears to kind of get the right sound and then kind of try to shape it with different techniques that I'm going to show you here or in the next video. Probably going to be in the next video, but I just want to get you to get an idea of how I'm putting these things together. So you hear this now. Then when it gets into a certain part, right, to hear, right, that growl sound, and I have that sound effect at the bottom. I don't know where I got that from. It's down there. I call it monster growl screams, and for some reason I got a picture of a dog. I don't know why, but whatever. So you'll hear that on the track. But I try to emulate that with something. I probably got it downloaded from somewhere. You can tell it's an audio, and I fade it, and I did a fade out right here, so it doesn't end abruptly. All right. So yeah, that's what I did up to that point there. So you're not gonna hear anything because those MIDI regions have to be triggered from the beginning. And then now this here, of course, I have a French horn that I used from a plugin. One of the greats. This one is very nice plugin. It's called East West Quantum Leap. Their play engine here. I'm trying to get back to the original page, the actual browser for the player. Here we go. Yeah. So I'm not gonna explain all this is. It's just a brass sound. Okay, and it's very realistic. So I used it because of course, as they go on with the track. It may not be as powerful. I probably had a little loud, but and then they come in with the beat, right? So, and this is what I have here. I'll take this off. Of course, you're gonna hear this. I'll play this, right? And I'm a drummer, so I'm gonna hear drum parts. I'll close this out. So I'm hearing several things going on. They have some percussion going on, right? And then there's something keeping a little melody in the background, and then you hear that long sustained string sound. And now I'm hearing that's another instrument. That's a fretless bass. I know that because fretless bass has a very distinct sound. So, and there's several libraries that I can use. I like to mix and match libraries. Sample libraries. Like for example, I may have a horn section from Play, but I may use another one from Kontakt or from another one from Berlin, I think it's Berlin Sounds or something. And because they have a different timbre, different sound to them, and they sound good together. It doesn't have this fake, over sampley kind of like computer sound, because they're all generated from the same place. They're slightly different in timbre, so it sounds more realistic, like a real horn section or string section or instrument would. Unless that's the sound you're looking for. A lot of times you'll have, pianos that are not acoustic pianos like what I'm about to show you in a minute here. But they do have a distinct electronic sound because that's how they were built intentionally. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So this is what I have. Right? Right? All right, now, when we listen to this part here, right? What we have here is our section of I have the part of the drums here. Normally, I would take the drum tracks and I would, this is Superior Drummer 3. When I had Superior Drummer 2, when I used to use that more, I would separate the drum tracks and kind of mix it up. And I think I want to just make this track quick because it was so heavily driven by like a loop that wasn't from like a real drum set. So I just figured, you know what, I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time trying to make the drum sound perfect. It's the loop that's really pushing it. What I could have done was group these here, but I'll show you what I'm saying. I'll just select these here and I'll solo them out. So I'll show you what I'm saying here. So if you listen, all right, each one you have a separate one. So you have your kick here, boom, and the hi-hat, and the side stick, and which actual sample, which note it is, a shaker, and arpeggiated click, a flam, and what I call a flam hit. All right, so I'm gonna kind of repeat this area here, right? I showed you how to do this in the last video. All right, so I had all of them selected. So if you take the track on, put the track back on, you see that matches like perfectly, pretty much. See? And it's close, like I said. It's your kick, of course. And I'm listening for a particular kind of kick. When I'm listening for this kick, I'm trying to match it with what they have, right? It's transient, but it's deep. When I say transient, it comes and it goes pretty quickly. You can tell by looking at the waveform. It doesn't extend all the way out like an 808, like boom. And I'm trying to match the pitch at the same time. So, right, you see what I'm saying? And you can use compression and different things to fix it up. And then I listen to the hi-hat. I'm trying to match that. Because there's some syncopation going on there, right? And of course I got the side stick. Okay, so with the side stick, trying to match that up, because they have some other sound going on. Like I said, I don't know what it is, but you just trust in your ears. And as you practice and as you use a different instruments, you're gonna say, oh, okay, I know what that sound is, or I know what can sound like that, so I can, use that as a substitute. Because when I first started doing this, you can spend literally hours just trying to match sounds and get the perfect thing. And then you could extend this and make this take extra long. And you want to get this done, but you'll increase in speed and accuracy as you do it more and more. So here's the shaker. And that's what I'm hearing, right? Because this is a syncopated beat. You should listen to all three of these. All right, I'll mute this. And this is another thing here now. This arpeggiated click I use from Omnispheres. They can arpeggiate different sounds. You listen closely. All right. I'll even turn this up. Well, actually, I did all of them. Oh, no, didn't mean to do that. I better put that back. So now, this last one here, I call it a flam hit. That's what it sounds like to me. like some kind of clicking sound with a clap attached to it. So I liked how that sounded, and it sounded close to what they had here. So, and like I said, I could have kept looking and probably got it exactly, but you want to get it as closely as you can. And listen to it again, and it'll pass. You know, I'm not trying to whittle words here. We just want it to sound close. So now we have the percussion, right? And then with the other things that we have now, we did let me back this up a little bit. I have these strings on here. And this string here is from this, again, this is East West, their EW East West, their play engine here is called sampler is called Hollywood Strings. And it's a full string set. So it's not like just a violin or just a contrabass or just a viola. All right. And then I have this here, it's called it's a sine or sine wave. I'll let you hear by itself. I have some reverb that I threw in it. I set this up to a bus to let it reverb a little bit. Just like they're having on the track. And you can come back here and listen to, we'll move this up a little bit. I'll move this up just a little bit. And what I can do here is play the fretless bass that they have here. It's the same thing, right? So. Yeah, I was doing some work there with the probably with the pitch bend wheel. So this is what I'm listening for, and this is what I want to hear. So, and if you pay attention earlier, you would hear that I actually had this here. That wasn't this is the MIDI event, but it's the actual key switch for this kind of guitar here. So I can get this guitar here to do a muted guitar sound. I think that's what I was trying to pull off here. Yes, I believe so. Yes, I was. So there's that. All right. But before I got there, I actually had a guitar, a glissando, like a slide. So you'll hear it come in right here. Right. And just trying to emulate what they were doing on the track here. So. Right. So, yeah, there's all kind of slides you can do, you know, harmonic slides, blah, 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 different things if you're a bass player. And those are just some of the slides that I had triggered. Okay, so now, yes, I did do that. And then you have the pad here. I'm going to take this cycle live. Greatest gift to man. So right, I'm padding some of it now. I'm going to back up just a little bit. You have the wind chimes and the cymbal swell. Listen to the track. Greatest gift to man from afar. So you have, yeah, the acoustic guitar that I'm using here. This acoustic guitar is from this guy. This guy's really good, man. He sells these samples. His name is Andre, and he sells a bunch of guitar samples and different things. I don't know what's going on with there. What happened? Why it's maybe I was trying to do a pitch bend. I don't know. But anyway, Petten House is the name of his company. Really good stuff. So yeah, and I have this, like I said, going on at the same time. This muted guitar here, the bass here. Some of these sample sounds really, I gotta make sure I trigger, because if I set the, what do you call that, the key switch at the beginning, I don't catch it, it'll give the wrong articulation. And I'll play it back here. Let me see what it sounds like again. Here we go. Right, so we have this, the pad. Sounds like it's a different key. It probably is. I probably missed the trigger. I think I know what's going on in the trigger. So. Wow, it sounds like a completely different key. I don't know why it's doing that. You know why? It might be because of I have this going on here. I may have a pitch bend thing going on here. I'm gonna try to check something. I don't remember how to get to that function there. But like I said, it may be. Let me just see if I can reset it. Sometimes you can reset the. I'm not sure. It's a completely different key. At any rate, you have to go back and look into that. Yeah, it really sounds bad. I want to read that. So yeah, I have my keys here now. These are the strings. Right. So I have these these I call them pianos, right? But I'm playing an electric. And what I'm hearing is an EP. And this one I got from I bought this from Gospel Musicians. Really good plugin for older style. It's supposed to emulate the Roland MKS. This is the TX 816 here. Electric piano from Gospel Musicians. Really good plugin for these older sounds, older 80 sounds. But then I have another piano with the same thing stacked. Just a man. So right? So by this point, I have the drums in. I mean, you hear the drums, right? The drums are not going to sound that great because I didn't really mix them. I just kind of threw them on here just to get a sound. Yeah, there's no snare. There's no hi-hat or nothing. It sounds very basic. And so right there, you hear a kettle drum, right? Kind of like what they did, right? Yeah, I can hear it, but when I'm tracking these, I'm listening with headphones on, so I'm getting everything. You want to do that? You want to have these things right in your ear, unless you really got some really good studio monitors. I do have really good ones. These Yamaha HS8 or HM8, I can never remember, but headphones are the way to go because the sound is right in your ears, so you can hear every nuance and detail of the instruments. That's a guitar lick that he did. Yeah, with the headphones you hear it on. I'm not sure if you can hear it on this recording here. It's a run here that's coming up on the strings, right? So you hear this here. I'll play that back. Yeah, like I said, all those little nuances you're gonna catch. So oftentimes, when people are tracking, these things are not being tracked, like one instrument is gonna be on one single track. You end up with 25, 30, 40 tracks, depending on what you're trying to do and how detailed you're trying to actually be. And what kind of sound you have. You can go from anywhere where it's basic to just, I'll put on just the pianos. Let me see, pianos, and I'll just do just a bass and a drum. And that's it. We can keep that as basic as we can get. And you can do this too, but you'll miss the orchestration, especially with a song like this. And then you have this, let me go to a part where so you only got these instruments here, right? Of course, the drums are not fully programmed in it, just no hi-hat, but this is basically what it would sound like. I put two not sure why I did two of the same voice for these two, piano 1 and 2. This is why it's important to leave notes for yourself, like just good descriptions. You know, like I don't know why I put scripted. I'm not sure why I did that. I must have changed something in the script. I'm not sure, but at any rate, you can put little notes and things like that for yourself so you can keep up with what you're doing if you haven't come to it in a while. I'm not sure why I did it. Yeah, I'm not sure why I did that. It's slightly different. It's almost like I wanted to have a pad on one. I'm not sure. Sometimes I do that. I may pan one left and one right and do different effects with it. You know, even although it's the same sound, just to give it a different kind of stereo effect. But I'm not sure why I did that. So yeah, again, so you hear that kettle drum. Oftentimes you'll play and like you'll have electric guitar, just a little line. The bass normally I'll have it like on one track unless I have some kind of crazy effect or something I'm trying to do, which is rare. And the strings I can probably share several tracks with them, but it's just one in this case because I actually went in and let me double click on this, and I went in and I actually I hit this over here. I'm trying to get to the here we go, the event section, right? Yeah, I did. This is channel 1. I don't think I changed channels because sometimes I'll change the channel and do a different thing on another channel and let it play simultaneously. I don't know. I guess I just did all the strings on that one channel. I use the modulation wheel a lot. I don't know why, but yeah, you can see. Oh yes, you know what? It is all on channel because you can put them all on one MIDI channel, and the keyboard is split. So you know, yes, you can do that too because I put them as full strings, and then I have the other runs. Well, that's that one time that I did that. But yeah, so you can have the bass and things like that. Yeah. You know, you're gonna have less instrumentation. So this is a tough song to do because, again, you can get the chords and do it very basic, but you want to be able to do a couple things here. You want to have your ears ready. Of course, doing this, your ears are going to be trained, but you want to be able to separate each track. And if you're trying to build it, you can separate each track. You can actually work in it a lot better. There's different effects or different things you can actually use on each track to, you know, enhance the sound. And I'll get into that in the next video where I talk about some of the effects. I'm going to turn them on and off so you can hear what it sounds like and see some of my signal routing that I've done. All right, and that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this. Any questions, you can go ahead and hit me up in the comment section. And don't just look at this video. Check out video 1, you know, so you can have an understanding of where I'm actually coming from with this. Also want to let you know, if you haven't checked out my free guide, it's over at mychurchband.com/jumpstart. It will help you get a jump start on some of this stuff if you have not a clue at what you're looking at over here and what this all represents. In my free guide, I get into exactly the instruments you need to get. There aren't many, you know, hardware instruments that you need to get. I get into the type of software that you need to get, the computer that you can use, and there's a whole bunch of information on there from beginning to end that will help you to walk you through. You can read that one guide and get everything that you need to get started today on Jumpstart, your Jumpstart on using and creating your own music and implementing this stuff. So that's mychurchband.com/jumpstart. Well, God bless you, and I will see you in the next video.